let's say hypothetically, Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios are sitting down with Sony and they're trying to figure out a way to fit the Venomverse and Venom 2/Venom 1 into the MCU. What would it realistically take? Let's go over all of that. So with the whole dispute between Sony and Disney and Marvel Studios, there is clearly bad blood there, and they're trying to work it out. You know, we see Sony is trying to backpedal their way into the MCU without directly being in the MCU. We see Marvel Studios had to bend over backwards to keep Spider-Man in for another film and another appearance, so there's still bad blood there. Now, what would it take for Venom to be made canon officially, and for these characters like Morbius, like Venom, all to appear in the MCU core, not just in the Sony films? And I don't even think it's about the money. I don't think it's about the money personally. Because if it was, Venom was already such a big box office hit, it would already have happened and have been made official. I think it's about Kevin Feige and how much say he has. Again, Marvel Studios and Kevin Feige look at the scripts and they give them feedback and say, we like this, I don't like this, maybe you should change that, and they can listen to them or not. We know Kevin Feige gave them outlines for The Amazing Spider-Man 2 saying, this is how you can fix it, listen to me. They didn't listen, and then The Amazing Spider-Man 2 bombed. That's why the MCU deal was made. So what they would have to do is listen to Kevin Feige. But when they went back to the drawing board, when they tried to come up with negotiations before Far From Home was out, Sony wouldn't listen. They wouldn't listen to what he was saying. He wanted, to help executive produce and be hands-on with Venom 2 and Morbius and a Kraven standalone and whatever else they were doing. But Sony wouldn't have that because he wanted a share of the money because it was going to invest a lot of his time. Now they do have money sharing hands, and there's a percentage going to Disney now and a percentage going to Sony, and there's some money exchanges in there, and there's rumors about toys and stuff, which we really don't know, but I don't think we'll ever really know all of that unless somebody really comes out there and talks about it, which they legally can't. So realistically, it would take everybody agreeing that Kevin Feige has to be hands-on. Now, Venom 2 is in an interesting position because it has Andy Serkis directing that film. Serkis, again, is really good friends with Kevin Feige, so maybe they can work out something there. But again, it's interesting to see how Marvel Studios is not acknowledging anything that's happening with these films, because there is that disconnect. So if you realistically wanted Venom to be acknowledged by the MCU has to go to them, give them an offer, Sony has to accept it, and then Kevin Feige has to do everything on his own and kind of work everything into the MCU, which would create a lot of problems due to storylines and Venom's placement and how that's approached in the MCU. But again, they could say that was a multiverse version and say Venom 2 is something a little bit different that was maybe affected due to, the snap, the blip, and all that. So you could cheese that in there, and it would be, a little bit exposition-y, but again, it could work. I just don't think Sony wants to give up more control over to Disney, because, let's be real, they're giving up a share of money, and the more work he does, the more they're going to have to give up. And I don't think they want that because Sony believes they can do it all on their own. Now, whether you like Venom or not, that kind of tells you if you believe that they can do it on their own better or not. So, yeah, in the long run, I don't think it happens, but realistically, what would it take? It would take Sony listening to Feige every step of the way.